Hello, greetings, my friends. This is Gillesmansillon. I'm an artist and spiritualist, and I come back to discuss the science of ascension today. That's what I've been talking about. For everybody, a lot of people on channels and so on talks about ascension, but ascension is nothing new. These principles of ascension has been taught by the Lord Buddha for a very long time. And I was talking yesterday about connecting to this eighth-dimensional plane, when all the world of cause and every single the higher plans of the soul and this communion with all our soul family and spirit guides. It's like when you focus on that, when you connect to that, you are bypassing all of the lower fourth dimensional entity, the astral plane. And when if you can stay connected to those planes, you become completely and different. Those no lower energy can affect you. So stay focused on this nirvana of experience, of existence. For all spiritual teacher will tell you that the essential is love. For God, the first nature of God is love. He's a creator. He creates through love. And then the second nature is mercy. And his third nature is ministry of the energies of creation. But love is your primal nature, as you are essentially a source energy being, an infinite creator that came into this world of form. But to understand that love is all and that we become all love, that to become only love is not obvious in a world that is so dualized and where there is so many contrasts, but it's something that we'll continue to teach and to reconnect to, as the unity and love as really the essential, but it needs to be applied within our life. And so, when you believe you are protected, you are protected. And when you invoke this source, that's God's self, I'm not saying I am protected. I can go run in a bad area in the middle of the night with gold rings and so gold jewelry and so on. That's like insanity. It's like you calling on, and people who do that will call on an experience of a clash with the people that are there. But I'm talking about general energetic protection, to follow the flow, to be guided. And when you call on this protection, you know this protection is on. You create this energetic shield, and to learn to create it, to call on that to invoke that presence of God. Just as you can invoke the presence of lucidity for the Lord Buddha, the Lord Gautama is the historical Buddha, is the Buddha of Amitabha. Amitabha means on Sanskrit infinite light, for the Buddha of infinite light. And there's this powerful invocation in Sanskrit, it says Namo Amitabha. Namo, reverential salutation to the Buddha of infinite light. So when you call on, you resonate, you allow this mantra, Namo Amitabha, you invoking the presence of lucidity within yourself. And for there are also mantras, like in Japanese, Namyo Renge-kyo, or in Tibetan, Om Mani Padme Hum, or in Hebrew, Kadosh, 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 Adonai, Sebayoth. Those are invocation of powerful cosmic energies that will always tune you into the higher frequency, all the mantras. For the Buddha achieved the enlightenment. He came here to teach enlightenment, to the nirvana of being. The nirvana is a connection to the 12th dimension of the multi-dimensional sub-universe that we live in. It is the freedom from reincarnation, the freedom from samsara. But it was, at the time, it was very ascetic, and you have to, at the time, there was certain advantage to do this ascension then, although. But if you go into the sutra, the teaching of the Buddha, it's everything is there for creating this freedom and liberation. It teaches the Dharma, the law of alignment with the divine. But at the time there was no toxins. Now there's toxins in the air, toxins in the water, toxins in the clothes, toxins in the food, and we're bombarded with lower electromagnetic frequency. So it's much more difficult. And then we undertook many lives since that time, and so we have to deal with all those energies of the past lives. But there was one great advantage that we have now for this collective ascension. One is that we do not need to complete the 100% freedom from karma in order to do the ascension. We only need to do 51% of our focus needs to be positive. And then we only need to call on the forces of light to receive assistance. At the time, they had no right. The archangels could not assist and help at any. They were completely, it was forbidden from law. Everybody had to do his ascension all by themselves. And now we're doing these collective things, and we just got to call on spirit for spirit to come and help and assist. So whenever you need call on spirit, you'll get an immediate response. and then follow. Follow whatever. For the teaching of Buddha is very one of the greatest philosopher of all time, because it's very practical philosophy, and this philosophy will lead you to find salvation and freedom. So I just wanted to, for my own awakening happened through that connection, and so it is important not to understand that you cannot do the ascension for anyone else, and no one can do it for you. But anyone can ask for help from the world of spirit. So, but it's like let go of the responsibility to you can assist others, but you cannot do the own inner work, and nobody can do this inner work for you. Spirits cannot do this inner work for you. They want to empower you to the point where you become a conscious creator. I'm going to pull a few cards with the angels. I wanted to thank you for listening to my messengers. I want to thank you for liking, sharing, for commenting, and subscribing, and for your donations. If you want private sessions, I will still be doing a few this week. And for the past is liberation. Liberation has been anchored, and now we are able to rest. We have to recharge our battery to get ready. And what is coming, we're going to be able to rest, so we can get ready for the work that will be coming. It's going to be a lot of work coming. What we're working on now is the enthusiasm, the joy of the freedom to be able to do that new work, to do that, to engage ourselves with this new life. And what it will come is really a renewal. There is a brand new beginning, a renewal of all energies. It is very important to focus on this paradise timeline, to utilize your focus to create this best vision of yourself for yourself, because it's going to be a storm coming, and those who have not created that will be caught in the wave. If you stay on top of the wave, you'll be fine, but if you're inside the wave, it's going to be very, very chaotic. So understanding, we can also travel within your mind, and to travel to be free, to focus on where you want to be already. The mind of God is what created all things. Everything comes from mind, mind over matter. There is this little book called the Corpus Hermeticum, well, that's in Latin, but now there's a modern version named the Kybalion. It's the principle of Hermetism. I recommend you read it or reread it. It's very, very powerful. It explains the first principle is the principle of mind over matter, for everything was created from the mind of God. And so the connection to the higher mind is the Holy Spirit is through the intuition that connects to the heart, the higher heart, and which gives us access to the higher mind, the Sagittarius, and to be integrated within the lower mind in Gemini. For the Kybalion, the Corpus Hermeticum was very powerful. It was Isaac Newton translated the Kybalion from the Corpus Hermeticum from Latin into English, and that is, in doing that, he discovered all those laws and principles. So it is something I recommend. The Hermetic principles it's from Hermès Trismégiste. The great alchemist and philosopher, the father of all philosophy, probably, as far as we know, in the Occidental world. For it is important to identify with your spirit, to identify with your God self. So that is true freedom, because we've learned too much to identify with the world of form. Also understanding the chaos is present as that all the chaos that is present is part of the awakening process. It was planned and designed. It's not like by chance or to make us suffer. It's needed for humanity to wake up. But you need to create this. If you create this path of light, and then it's like you will as you move forward, it's like swimming. You will move, everything will, all the chaos and will be removed from your path, and you will just navigate and we will be able to balance things out. And so for even death, it's like the idea of death for the atheists, it's this terrible concept. It's like they made us believe that after death, consciousness is gone and it's over. You have no more life. So people hold on to but God would never allow that. Even the atheists will realize that will come to the realization that they still exist after this passage of losing the physical body. For time is elastic, time is flexible, it is a flow, and we want to move into, it's an invention, and so just move into the eternal present and move into the flow, rather than, for it is part of self-created illusions. Once you understand that time is an illusion, you can reorganize your schedule so you can enjoy your life. It is very important to do that. For that's like very difficult for someone to say no, I don't want to enjoy my life. But we'll find excuses to say no, I don't have time to enjoy my life. So it's about having more trust. But the more you enjoy your life, the more you create the time, the more satisfaction and contentment to move into the flow of life rather than the flow of time. To stay on the vertical axis, that doesn't mean we don't stay on the cross of matter, the pillar of light and the cross of matter. We cannot project ourselves through the process of time and integrate the time, but to become the master of time, to command your time. For you are an eternal spirit beings that have chosen this temporal experience, and it is our free will choice that created all that. What we want is let go of mask and the pretense, and not care whether anybody understands us or not. It doesn't matter. If you're true to yourself, you will be much better to be true to ourselves and not be understood than to be false to ourselves in order just to fit in and to follow someone else's conditioning. It's like Stendhal, the author Stendhal, said that who lives with his time will die with the era of his life. So it's like just be yourself, and then your energies will be carried on. For once it is important to understand we align with similar goal when we have common goal of freedom, love, joy, unity, consciousness, all those things. We align with the higher intelligence of the universe. So we move into this service function. For some people, will choose to serve nature, to serve through the service to animals, through service to children, service to adults, service through the arts, service through the science. There is all kinds of service. Follow whatever service, and know you're very, very powerful. You are very instrumental and essential to the victory of light that is coming. Also wanted to say that all wounds were self-created. It's not easy to understand, but all the wounds we have experienced were created for healing and self-love. It was brought to the picture, whether it is deception from romance, from friends, from family. All the conditions that are difficult were actually this life opportunity to close a karmic circle, to end a process, in order for us to be free and to bring to a close a long-standing issue. Remind yourself, I am life and I love myself unconditionally. I am life and I live myself unconditionally. I am life, I am love, I am light, I am that I am the truth, I am the way. When you do that, you radiate, you remember your creator, your creator's origin and nature, and you honor God by doing that. Remember that you are connected to God. This is the best way to honor God. For fourth and fifth dimensional energies are available, and for fourth dimension thoughts and energy. So it's like when we can connect to fifth dimensional thoughts and energy, at timeless moments of now, this nirvana of being, we find ecstasy, we find wonder, we are amazed. It's like so beautiful and so fulfilling. For it is important to be the change and create the change with your focus rather than expecting the change to come from the outside. That's something that's quite obvious. And focus on this paradigm timeline, very important, before this nirvana of experience, the freedom of experience. Focus on that, convince you're already there. And navigate the waves as they come. If you brought back into the third dimension, do not blame yourself. It is just a passage. And then return to that connection as soon as possible, because there's going to be a great shift that is coming, a great storm that's going to shake the world. And always choose the highest vision than the smaller vision. Even though it's more comfortable for the ego to choose something that's more within the grasp of his limitation, always and whatever higher vision you have is always what you want to cultivate, even if you have to adjust it to the circumstances. And sometimes you cannot share those visions because people will not understand it. Only share it with those you trust. But cultivate always the highest vision possible. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. The highest wisdom is the equitable being, is the balance, it's justice, it's Themis, the goddess of justice. It is to be transparent, to be balanced. Balance brings peace. Peace will bring us to serenity and lucidity. What we need to understand is happy circumstances, is miracles, all kinds of amazing possibilities are before us. What we need to do is going far. we need to rest in order to, because it's going to be a lot of work, a lot of things going on, and when it's going to start, it's going to be we're going to need to move into the flow that is comfortable. But since we still going to want to move, we're going to be able to move quite fast, and we're going to go far into the light. And the outcome is the tribe. There's a great family connection with all the invisible people that are part of our family, but the human beings too. The human community will be moved and connect to human community of people that we share goals with. We share ideas. We're going to be able to co-create, to find great satisfaction from meeting new people that they're not new, because we know them from past life, and from deep within our heart we have this connection. Sometimes you can meet somebody that you've never really met, but you feel this connection like you knew them. It's because we met in past life, and also to let go of all the people that wants to leave. It's like even sentimental deception and all those things. They were just catalysts to make you feel more self-love. It was all planned and programmed by your soul like that. Well, I hope this message was meaningful, interesting. I just stay focused on this higher plane, this nirvana of being, and as much as possible, and let go of all the dramas that you can be aware of it, but do not be implicated emotionally to be in the joy. If you're in the joy, then it's difficult to be affected otherwise. I'm going to sing a song to finish. It's an old classic of rock and roll. It's called The House of the Rising Sun. There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruins of many poor boys, and me, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man down in New Orleans. Now the only thing a gambler needs is a suitcase and a trunk. And the only time that he is satisfied is when he's all drunk. My mother tell your children not to do what I have done, to spend your life in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun. I got one foot on the platform, the other on the train, and I'm going back to New Orleans to wear that bows and chain. There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruins of many a poor boy, and me, I know I'm one, and me, I know I'm one. Songs of the Animals. I think it was the Animals in the 60s. I'm going to pull one more card. It's kind of gray here today. The card of the day is the 9 of Michael. It's really the time to shift and change, to let go of the old. It is not necessary to worry. Focus on the happy ending and the issue, happy ending that you aspire towards. Ask the angel and archangels to free you from regret, guilt, of worry. It's really important to let go of all that, and to really, Michael here confirms what I've been talking about. It's not no use to worry. Focus on the happy issue into which you aspire. Focus on your dream. Focus on your goal. Know they are on their way. To connect to the greater vision, and ask the angels to free you from regret, blame, shame, and all the kind of worry. There is no need for that. It's just ask for spirit guidance, ask for spirit support, ask for assistance whenever you feel you need it. I thank you very much. Wish you a wonderful Sunday, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.